Say hello to the next generation of superstar at 155 pounds. He is Arman Tsarukyan.
This for the ones look up to me. I ain't running in these streets. I just been rapping on these beats. Put all your time in your dream. If you got
I know it's been a while, but I am back with the UFC predictions / breakdowns. I promise you this time I'm going to try to get more of me out there in my videos with my face in it. Anyways, enough talking. Let's jump right into this week's predictions. Kicking off the main card, we got our guy P. Serrano. I don't know how to say his first name. I'm not going to try to butcher it. Versus Dustin. I don't know how to say his last name either. Stolfus. I don't know. I really don't know. But our guy Serrano is coming into this fight off of a TKO KO loss to Roman Kripilov. I probably butchered his last name too. In the second round, Kripilov was putting in some massive work on that body, and Serrano just couldn't stand up to it. While our guy is also coming off of a loss, he is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. I think the UFC really wants to build Serrano, so I think this is a fight for them to push him, if that makes sense. So with that being said, I am taking Serrano by first round knockout. Following that fight, we got our guy Clay Guida still doing his thing at 41 years old. Salute to that man. Versus Joaquin Silva. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. It's one of those two, I'm pretty sure. I feel like this is one of those fights where they're trying to give Clay Guida a somewhat happy ending. I mean, they didn't give him a complete killer, but they didn't do him no favors giving him Silva. Silva's last fight was against Arman. I don't know how to say his last name. The dude in the main event, he lost that fight. And I feel like Silva is going to try to get some get back. And this is a pretty good name to have some get back to and boost his star power a little. And with that being said, I think I'm going to take Silva by second round finish or decision. One of those two. Clay Guida fights usually go one or two ways. He either gets steamrolled or they go to decision. But y'all let me know. I got Silva by decision. Sean Brady is making his return to the UFC octagon after a year off after his fight with Belal Muhammad, which Belal Muhammad finished Sean Brady in. A lot of people don't give him credit. I do. I don't see the problem with it. He is coming back to fight Kelvin Gastelum. The UFC did not do him any favors in his return fight. KG is coming off of a fight that, in my opinion, it got to be top 10 fight of the year with Chris Curtis that he won by unanimous decision. This is the winner of this fight. They're going to have a pretty good pop going into 2024, in my opinion. Sean Brady kind of needs it. I mean, people have forgot about him, but I don't know. This is probably going to be fight of the night, in my opinion. If I can say this, it's either going to be this fight or the next fight that I'm about to talk about. But with that being said, I think Sean Brady comes back and is victorious. I'm saying second round KO. In this fight, my other fight of the night contender, we have Rob Font versus Deiveson Figueiredo. This fight, I believe, is going to be bonkers, especially if Figueiredo carries that power he had at 125 up with him. It can get scary for the 135 guys. Rob Font is coming into this fight off of a loss to Corey Sandhagen, which, I mean, I was at that fight. It was not the funnest fight to be at. But Rob Font is generally an exciting fight to watch. Figueiredo is an exciting fight to watch. So that fight should be a pretty good one. But on my prediction of the fight, I think Figueiredo has a very, very good chance of being the next guy to have 2 titles in the UFC, and I think that starts with a win here tonight by first round KO. I'm calling my shot. Boom. Next up in the co-main event, we have the fight that nobody was expecting to see. We have Jalen Turner versus Bobby Green. Jalen Turner has been one of my favorite fighters to watch this year, if I'm being honest. Even though he did lose both of his fights by decision against Gamrot and his last fight against Dan Hooker, which that fight has to be top 5 in UFC 2023 fights of the year. If it's not your top 5, me and you have no business talking to each other in general. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Dan Hooker has his chin on him. I wish he was fighting this tonight, but I didn't think when the fight was announced that it was smart for him to fight again this soon with the broken arm that he had in that fight, which he's not. All right, and Bobby Green is kind of resurging late in his career, coming off of back-to-back finishes over Tony Ferguson and our guy Grant Dawson. I kind of forgot his name for a second, but he made Grant Dawson look really, really easy. I think Jalen Turner finally turns the corner and gets a win in 2023. His last 2 fights have been barn burners. I think, and this depends on how the weight cut goes. I'm recording this on Thursday, so for tomorrow, if the weight cut's bad, I might edit something in there, but I think Jalen Turner gets a win, and I think he finishes Bobby Green in the 2nd round. I don't know how. I just think the 2nd round, either submission or KO. In the main event of the night, we have our guys Beneil Dariush versus Armand. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, but here it is. Yeah, this is a really, really fun fight. A really, really fun fight. Benny's coming off of that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I did a video for this, but I thought Benny had a pretty good shot against Charles Oliveira. I know, I sound crazy, but I thought he had a pretty good shot at it. And Charles showed me that it looked like he didn't, especially not that night, at least. Not that night. While our guy Armand is coming into this fight after back-to-back victories, he's trying to put his name in the pot at 155 in the UFC. UFC lightweight is a jumbled mess right now. They have like 4 #1 contenders. I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, that's a whole different video. That division is a mess. Like, it is bad. Yeah, I'll do a video of that too. But they're trying to throw their name into that 155 pot, and I hate to say it, but I think Armand, how you? It's spelled Armand, right? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, but I think I'm giving you a compliment anyway. I think he's going to pull off the victory tomorrow or Saturday, and I want to say probably by decision. I do not want to see my guy Benny go out that way again, but yeah, that's how I see the night going. Y'all let me know how y'all think the night's gonna go. What's your favorite fight? Also, Misha Tate is on this card. She's on the prelims. I think she's gonna win. Who else is on this card? Off the top of my head. Dan Hardy's wife is on this card. I think it's his wife. She's the first fight of the night. But yeah, y'all drop down below. Y'all drop in the comments below how y'all see these fights going and who's your favorite fighter. And just like that, y'all be good people. Peace.